elite medical schools. There's a Chinese wall. We have labs on one side doing all the research, and we have classrooms on the other side teaching doctors what to do. The research never makes it over the Chinese wall into the classroom. And so doctors are trained with very significant amounts of information, but their education is not complete. They're great people. They're kind-hearted. They're brilliant. But their diploma is printed on Swiss cheese. There's glaring holes in what they don't know. And I tease doctors, especially ones who have an MD degree. I say that your MD stands for mineral denialist. They have no regard for minerals. They think they are hood ornaments on a car, when in fact they're the keys to run the engine. And that's where the breakdown is we are not born with statin deficiencies, right? What's fascinating is in 1973, a famed MD, PhD named Leslie Clemay, it's a guy, he's a cardiologist. He's still living. He just turned 90. I called him up on his birthday to wish him a happy birthday. Brilliant scientist, clinician. And in 1973, he discovered that a lack of copper is what causes cholesterol to rise in the liver and then into the bloodstream. So for that finding to become science, one other lab needs to verify his findings. And since 1973, over 30 labs have verified that Dr. Clemay was right some 50 years ago. Now, what's the significance of that? Statins are the first $1 trillion product on planet Earth. And so we live in a very stimulating world. Oftentimes it doesn't make sense. But here we have this pioneering research being done 50 years ago that would have solved the cholesterol problem, but there's a catch. It's 5 cents worth of copper that would keep us healthy. It's about $10 worth of statins that create the illusion that we are in a balanced state.
On the subject of cholesterol, don't you need 11 coppers to make 1 molecule of cholesterol?
Absolutely. And so the significance of that is that copper's gift to people on planet Earth is it helps to regulate oxygen. Mm-hmm. It has a unique ability to regulate iron and oxygen at the same time without creating any static, without creating any oxidative stress. And so when copper is down, oxidative stress is rising. And the body is designed to make cholesterol as an oxygen sink. To your point, 11 molecules of oxygen go to make 1 molecule of cholesterol. And it's amazing, the intelligence of our body. And yet for 65 years, we were held hostage to this lie that cholesterol caused heart disease. It was born in 1955 when President Eisenhower had his first of 8 heart attacks.
But didn't President Eisenhower smoke 100 cigarettes a day as well?
He had a horrible diet. He smoked cigarettes, absolutely. But they isolated cholesterol as the bad guy. At least that was the work of Ansel Keys. And why did they want to do that? Because they were desperately wanting to take retinol, vitamin A, out of our diet. And where you have retinol, you have cholesterol. And so the sleight of hand was to create a low-fat diet. And worldwide, this has happened. I do a lot of my research at Starbucks in the morning, and I'm fascinated at the number of skinny lattes people order because people to this day are afraid of fat. And it's one of the great tragedies of humanity is that we have been programmed to fear fat, thinking that it's going to cause heart disease, when in fact it's sugar. It's always been sugar that causes heart disease. And that lie was born at Harvard University back in the 60s. And so we have challenges to overcome to get people to understand the truth of what's going on in the body.